Welcome back to WD Magiccast for the week of September 10th, 2023. This is episode 236. WD Magiccast, the show about the mouse, the Marvels, the galaxy, and beyond. I'm your host, Matthew Gracon. In this week's show, Dave Gallman and I continue our conversations about our Disney visit vacations and the wonder of the seas. Come along, finish up the vacation with us. A lot of great ideas, and a lot of fun recapping the adventures and stuff that we got to do on this trip in Florida and outside of Florida. And some of the stuff that we got to eat. Oh, the food. And the connections to Disney may surprise you. Don't forget to join the conversation and follow us along at WD Magiccast on all forms of social media. X, TikTok, Twitter, Threads, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all out there. And also make sure to check out our store, which the links are in the show notes, where you can get yourself some really cool WD Magiccast stuff, help support the show that way, and get yourself something cool to wear. We'll be back after these words from our friends and sponsors.
Hello there, WD Magiccast friends. This is Anthony King, the host of the podcast Force Ghost Conversations. This podcast is your home for cozy deep dives into all things Star Wars, including the latest news, movies, TV shows, video games, books, and everything else in a galaxy far, far away. We can be found on every major podcast platform. Just search for Force Ghost Conversations. This is the way to your next Star Wars podcast, and may the Force be with you.
Things, and coming down it was 3 or 4 young ladies, teenage girls, in ball gowns. And by ball gowns, I mean picture Belle from Beauty and the Beast.
Mm-hmm.
That.
Wow.
Big poof, hoop skirt, Gone with the Wind, Belle, Cinderella type of just big ball gowns.
Wow.
And I don't know how they all fit in the elevator, because these things were like pressed against the glass, and there was no room to move, and there was only 3 people in that elevator. That elevator could hold 8 people.
Yeah.
So it's like they come marching off. Later in the day, I saw them walking up and down. There's a section of the ship that's called the Promenade. It's this large, open, almost like a strip mall. Or not a strip mall, a mall in the ship. It's 2 decks that has a bunch of shops. It has Sorrento's Pizza, which is a 24-hour pizza place. Park Cafe, which is, you get snacks and coffees and beverages there. There's a Starbucks, and that's also where your shops are. Mm-hmm. And in your least favorite item on the ship, the Bionic Bar.
That's not my least. That's my favorite. I couldn't wait. We had to wait until the thing got out in the ocean for the thing to open. I kept pacing back and forth. I'm like, I want a drink. Open this thing up.
You got that one. And then you have the Rising Tide Bar, which is, neither of us have done it yet. I don't think.
We didn't get on it.
But it is another bar lounge type of thing where you get on one deck, the doors close, and it's an open air type of situation. There's a bar on it, you got some seats on it that you sit, and the thing goes up 2 decks.
Yeah, really slow. So you're
slowly,
just like,
and then you end up in Central Park.
Right.
But it's this cool little thing, and you get some good views on there. There's also the scooter bar off of that, which is a Royal Caribbean staple. It's designed like an old schooner ship, so it's kind of got the teak flooring and lots of nautical theming. Excuse me. And it's a piano bar, so you have a live piano player, sometimes a guitar player, and sometimes they have the trivia there. So you got a lot of fun things going on there, and guest services is off of that promenade as well. But I saw these girls again parading is a better term, down the promenade in the big ball gowns with a photographer taking their pictures around at certain points on the ship. And I'm just like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there's something you don't see every day.
Right. But hey, who cares? They're on vacation. You know
but
what I'm
like you
saying?
said, you're on vacation. They're celebrating. That's how you're going to celebrate.
Yeah.
Good for them. I'm like, wow, that is awesome that you can have that kind of experience.
Mm-hmm.
But like you were saying, there's the karaoke section. You're never going to see most of these people ever again.
Nope.
We went to a show they called Kamikaze Karaoke. That you sign yourself up. It was a limited amount because it's the show was only so long. It was about an hour, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So it was 8 people or 8 groups who were able to go up, and traditionally with karaoke, you get to pick the song that you're doing. I'm going to do, Hooked on a Feeling. I don't know, something.
Mm-hmm.
And you go up there and sing it. This time they call you up, you go up there, and the cruise staff that's running the show tell you what song you're doing.
Oh, wow.
So you have this guy up there. They're asking you little questions like, oh, what are you into? What do you sing in the shower? It's like, oh, I sing Disney songs or this and that. And they go to the guy, okay, good. Sing Let It Go. Actually, I don't even think they tell him. They just start playing the song.
Just play the song, and you go.
Yeah, I think it was just they start playing the song. But I mean, he nailed it. He did a great job with it.
Yeah, yeah.
But the funny part was the 3 teenagers, one maybe around 19 and younger, because this was for adults only, it wasn't for kids. Right. Adults only could to sign up, and they put on Britney Spears. Hit Me Baby One More Time, and they didn't know it. And it was hysterical because you just see these 3 teenage boys going, I don't know this song. Everyone else knows it. Everyone else in that bar knew it, except for these 3 teenagers.
And it's so hard to read. If you know those songs, you got to read the lyrics as you're going. Oh, is that just And
try to figure out, okay, what's the timing of it?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. It was entertaining. Yes, it was definitely entertaining. I mean, there's family karaoke. Royal Caribbean does a good job. I feel does a good job. And I've done both Disney and Royal Caribbean to make it a family experience. There are things that are strictly more for the adults, but then there's plenty of things that you can do as a family. Yeah, all the main shows are family shows.
Family shows, yes, I agree. And to your point on that, we did the family karaoke. The Spotlight Karaoke Bar is that's the spot for me anyway. I like going in there, hanging out, kill some time, if it's between shows or whatever. I like going in there, grab a drink, see who's singing. But we were in there at one time, and it is an hour, and they sign up. So we're sitting there, me, my wife, and my daughter, and my wife was just prodding my daughter a little bit. Oh, why don't you go up there and sing? And my daughter's like, nah. Then 2 seconds later, I started seeing, I'm watching the show, but in the corner of my eye, I see my daughter's wheels turning, and I'm like, is she actually going to do this? So she's like, all I hear is, I'm going. Okay, so she goes over, signs up, puts her name in, comes back. A couple singers later, my daughter gets up there. I forgot the song. She knows it. Obviously, I don't. But she got up there, sang, got a little bit of an applause or whatever, came back. I was like, there you go. You're on vacation. Way to go outside of your, comfort zone, man. It was awesome to see my kid go up there and do it. So, they do it right, like you said, with the family and stuff like that. That's what they go for, So, and she saw other kids going up there and doing it, so she's like, I think that's what gave her the courage to go up there and do it. So,
there's lots of fun experience. There are adult things, like I said. There's a casino. There's a comedy club that's more adult oriented. But the ice show was a lot of fun. Really nice to watch. The kids enjoyed it. The aqua show, which is a water show with on this ship, it's an all female cast. Mm-hmm. And there's a pool, but the pool's got 2 stages that can be raised or lowered independently. that the performers will dance on, or then they go diving into the water. There's a tightrope. There's this parts where a performer is suspended over the audience on a moving contraption that moves around.
There was the thing with the camera. Like, I don't know if you saw that part where it came down. The camera was like panning in the audience, so you could see yourself on the big screen. I don't know if that happened in yours. That happened in ours.
Maybe I missed that. But it's on the back of the ship, open air. They're jumping at a pretty high rate at some platforms on that. But again, it's just a fantastic show.
Yeah, intense.
Intense was the name of this one, and it was intense. They're doing martial arts, and they had the nunchucks and bow staffs, and there was one part that was straight out of Tron, which I thought that was one of my favorite parts with the light sticks, and it was that techno. I could almost swear it's one of the songs from Tron.
And the beauty of, like, if you have the boardwalk view, depending on where you are, I was basically like 2 cabins away from having the closest view to the Aqua Theater. You could see that thing. You could, like, even if you see it, if you want to check it out again, if you're bored for and you're in your cabin, you could just pop out on your balcony and watch the show again from up above. And it's cool, and it is loud. You're going to hear it.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's something else about this ship is that there are, like, traditional cabins on a cruise ship. There's the outside balcony rooms that look over the ocean. This one also has inside balconies that overlook the boardwalk section or Central Park. So giving you a different experience. You still get the balcony and the open air, but it's a different view. It's not just
ocean. Yeah.
You're not just looking at the ocean. You're looking at the life of the ship and what's going on.
I prefer those because I did the first cruise we did. We had an ocean balcony. And since I've gotten these I love the boardwalk view. It's people watch, man.
Yeah.
Like
I said, with the World Cup, I was able to go out on my balcony and just hear the crowds cheering and stuff, and be more into the game. I'm watching the game in my room, but experiencing the crowds, watching intense, watching people on the zip line going up above my room, or just sitting out there and just kind of like taking things in and just enjoying the atmosphere, and almost like you were at a Atlantic City or a boardwalk, an actual boardwalk resort, sitting on your balcony and just taking in life. But out on the distance, you still see the ocean, and you still get that ocean view of just the wake of the ship and just the beauty of everything going on. And these ships, as beautiful as they are during the day, at night they're even more spectacular with the lighting packages that they have on these ships, and just how delicately, just how everything is lit up. There's also a kids play zone area up top too, or more so for the younger kids.
Yeah.
That there's slides and climbing nets and different activity things that they can do and run around. It's like a spongy floor, so they're just, my boys went up there several times, bring them up there, and they were just running around and having a blast. So much to do on these ships. And then there's the buffet. Like I said, there's the main dining room that was really nice.
Well, what did you think? Let me ask you, because we haven't talked about. What do you think compared the Oasis to the Wonder? Like how the Windjammer is set up. Do you like what they did with the Windjammer on the Wonder?
Yes.
Yeah. So do I. Yeah.
They made it bigger. In some ways, especially initially, it's a little more confusing because you walk in and it kind of splits, and it's mirrored on both sides. And then you have the wraparound over the boardwalk area, so it goes completely the length of the boardwalk down and around the back. So it is a little easier to lose people, and then there's stuff that goes forward on the ship because the direction of the Windjammer is aft, so the back of the ship. You enter and you keep moving back, but there's some seats that go forward, and so you kind of forget that those are there, so those ones don't get used up as quickly. So it's a little confusing at first, but I like it better because it is bigger.
Bigger, yeah. Yeah. Did you have the wash your hand guy in there playing his
Oh,
guitar?
yes. Washy, washy, happy, happy.
Yeah.
I don't know about for you, but the last night
Yeah,
they
he came
had
down and
him
sang.
come down.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
He can come down and sing a song to everyone. And then he also broke into the washy, washy, happy. And the entire dining room, the 3,000 or however many people are in that dining room, sang the washy, washy, happy, happy song with this guy on his little ukulele, little guitar.
That guy is a rock star, dude. Because like when you first get on there, you're like, oh, look at this guy. But then by day 6, you kind of look forward to seeing him there, and he's doing his. And then, like you said, when he made his cameo, everybody was going nuts for that dude. So it was it was awesome.
This guy doesn't get paid enough for how popular he is.
No.
what he brings to this.
And then you find, like, I found myself going, wash your hands, you know. Oh, man. It's awesome.
It's great. But they have lots of sinks there for you to wash. And people, you're going, really, they're that annoying about washing it? Well, it's for safety because, everyone hears about cruise ships and the people getting sick off of them. So they're actually proactively taking measures on their newer builds for you to have access to wash your hands in places before eating, because maybe we all don't do that at home, and then we're at home just amongst family. That's one thing. Right. But just in general practice, it's a good idea, especially in a public restaurant, to wash your hands before you go around, especially to a buffet where you're everyone's grabbing using the tongs or the same spoons and getting food and whatnot. Not a bad idea to have washing stations to wash your hands before going out doing stuff like that.
I believe Loco Fresh has that too there. The little washing stations there before you get into the
The Loco Fresh, the taco restaurant
place,
bar, which that was that's good. You get the tacos, the burritos, desserts. There's a bar off the side of that too, I believe.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
They also have the Coke freestyle machines all over this ship. Actually, I feel like there's more on this ship than there was on the Oasis.
And those are key because, like, I had a beverage package. My wife had a beverage package. So instead of getting one for our daughter, you get those souvenir cups, which is that you can use those at all the Coke stations and stuff like that. So you can basically, those become my daughter's, and we didn't have to get her a package because she had plenty of beverages. We could get waters for her and stuff like that. So we didn't have to spend the extra money on a third package.
Yeah.
So
on Disney cruises, the soda is included. On this one, it is not. You do either pay per drink or you get the beverage package, which, what was it, like $50, I think, for the soda package. You'd look for different sales and stuff. So it's not that unreasonable. We consider you could go to ShopRite and buy, not on sale, your grocery store, and get two cases of soda, and you're probably spending $30 right there. So if it's something you feel you're going to use, and we used it pretty much every day. And then you also get this cool souvenir cup that it's not one that you can't use at home.
No, you can. Yeah.
We use ours all the time at home. So put some water in it, put a drink in it. It's got the nice little lid on it. So it's a usable item. You think when you go to Disney World, you get the souvenir mugs, and it's not very unsimilar to that. So it's and they have lots and lots of options. So you're not limited to just Sprite, Coke, Dr. Pepper, Diet Coke. It's the dream machine. So you have quite the variety of things to choose from. What my one son Ryan kept on saying, every night he was trying a different. I want to try this. I want to try this one. I want to try this one. I want to try this one. So he took advantage of it, and it worked out brilliantly. So, let's see, what else? I mentioned that they had as far as dining, we mentioned that they have the hot dog place that's got, standard hot dogs. It's got bratwursts. It's got some specialty ones it's all included. So
and it's only open for a certain amount of time though, like during the day. Because like I was jonesing for like one of those dogs at like 7 o'clock or whatever, and we walked by, it was closed. I'm like, what? So yeah, it's like it's an afternoonish kind of snack you need.
Yeah, that was one of the unfortunate things that wasn't open that late.
Yeah.
Cafe Promenade, which is, I mentioned that one, little snacks, desserts there, lots of coffee, tea, you can get drinks there. Nice little place also to just kind of sit and relax. El Loco Fresh, which is the taco bar, the main dining room. Park Cafe, which is another little buffet style place in the Central Park area. You got outdoor seating and then indoor seating. You got breakfast in there. You got little sandwiches and stuff that you can have later on. The Solarium Bistro, which is another buffet in the adult section of the Solarium, but anyone can eat in the bistro. Kids are welcome as well. Slightly healthier options there. Sorrento's, which is their 24-hour pizza place, which for 24-hour, quick made pizza, it's actually pretty good. And every night you will have a plain, you have a pepperoni, and then you have their specialty.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, like veggies or
the Caribbean one.
The
one was so good.
And that place is always like hustling, boy. I mean, they're churning those pizzas out. At
like 11 o'clock at night, it's the most popular spot on the ship because there's a huge line that wraps around, comes out on it. They had the Vitality Cafe, which again, more healthier options. The Windjammer, we just went over that. 150. Then you have specialty restaurants. Chops Grill, which is the steakhouse. Coastal Kitchen, which is seafood. Giovanni's Italian, which is the Italian place. Kitchen and Wine Bar. Hook Seafood. Izami, which is
the Japanese restaurant. Yeah.
Japanese hibachi. There's seafood. There's Johnny Rockets. The Playmaker Sports Bar. Bar and arcade, where you got some sports memorabilia. They got pool tables. You don't have to, like Playmakers, you don't have to be eating there to go in there, which is nice.
Yeah.
You could just go in there and play pool, or they have arcade machines in there, or just kind of sit and relax. And they're not going to push you out. They're not going to give you a hard time about anything.
No, I usually just go. That's like, I get my drinks there. If we're down there, I go hop in, get a drink, hop out.
Like I said, Starbucks, Sugar Beach, which is a kids candy store. Literally, that's what it is. It is a giant candy store. And then there's Wonderland, which I mentioned earlier. So lots of food options. Some of it's included, some of it is extra. I don't usually always go for the going for a specialty one. We did this one time, and very pleased with it. The service was really good. They explained everything to us, and I would absolutely eat there again because it was also a lot of fun. Yeah, all in all, I mean, the rooms are a decent size. They sleep.
You could probably sleep
four. Yeah. So you have two twin beds that you can push together to be a larger queen. Then you also have a couch that most rooms will have a couch that can be made up, or it also has a pull-out section that could be made into a double bed, so that could be four. The most open four, so you can have connecting rooms if you need more people. A smaller bathroom.
Compared to the Oasis, yes, the bathroom was smaller. However, the room was a little bit more roomier for a cruise ship room. Yes. Like when I walked in, I was like, wow, you could tell the difference. If you're a cruiser, you could tell that your stateroom is bigger or smaller.
Yeah, to do a comparison to the Disney ships, these ones are a little smaller than the Disney ones because the Disney ones will sleep 5, and they have a double bathroom. So they'll have just a toilet room, and then they will have a toilet and one with a bathtub. And a toilet and a sink in both of them. So that way people can still use the facilities while other people are showering. So that's a Disney ship plus perk. Slightly bigger rooms as well. But these rooms aren't like super tiny. And they are how they've redesigned them. You have a lot more elbow space. So you're not like constantly bumping into people. Now, did they do this for Kaylin where they just made up they just took the arms off the couch and just made up the couch as the bed, or did they pull the bottom part out?
We would, because we wanted the room to walk, we would push every night. We would push the thing down and slide it under the couch, and then when he came in, they would just make up that couch, for her for the next night. So they didn't make it a couch every night. Does that make sense? He left it as like a bed,
right?
But we would just always slide the thing underneath so that we would have the room to walk.
See, now for Paige, they never pulled that bottom part out.
Really?
Yeah, so she just slept lengthwise on the couch, but
on the couch. Okay.
She's fit fine because it's.
Yeah, I mean you could do it, but my daughter wanted the extra room to stretch out, I guess, or roll around. I don't know.
She needs to be the queen, so.
Exactly. And it took me a couple days to realize like our bed was two twins. Whatever stuck together, because I'm like, what is this crease here? I'm like, oh.
You kind of wonder like, why is there a weird dip? But it's because it's the two beds put together, and rightfully so, because if you don't want to, if you want two separate beds, two people travel together, you have the option that you can have two separate beds, and you're not forced to sleeping in the same bed as someone. The balcony is a nice space. You got the two deck chairs and the table out there, so if you want to have morning coffee out there, that's an option. There is room service with lots of complimentary options. There are some additional options that you'd have to pay for, but there's a lot of complimentary options. So if you want coffee brought up to your room every morning, they will do that for you.
They were always early. I don't know if you used them, but we would like, okay, come here between 7 and 7:30. They were at our door at like 6:45.
The couple of times we did, sometimes they got there early, sometimes they didn't. But they would always call saying that your food is on the way.
Right. Yeah, you get that.
So it didn't just like randomly show up. You were aware that it was coming. And like I said, you could sit out on your balcony and just kind of just relax and enjoy and just take in just the ambiance, the atmosphere, just whatever you want. Just kind of just kick back and turn the world off.
Yeah,
there is Wi-Fi on the ship.
Yeah.
The best Wi-Fi, no, but there is the Wi-Fi option on the ship that if you want to stay connected, if you need to stay connected, you can do that. If you just want to shut off, you can do that too.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of those things where between the shows, the excursions where we stopped, and the dining and everything like that, everything was just structured in you can basically structure your days however you want to do it, like you said. But we had it where, we'd get up, we're at St. Thomas, we do that, we come back, we have dinner, we have a show, we go to bed. You know what I mean? It's kind of that kind of system. All your shows are basically, usually they're after dinner. So you'd hit up those. They'd have like a 7 o'clock and maybe a 9 o'clock show or something like that.
Right.
So they do have it planned out really well. Where if you want structure, you can plan out your day like that. So it is. If you just want to chill out on your balcony the whole day, you can do that too. It doesn't matter. It's whatever you want to make of it.
And I'm not saying cruising is for everybody.
No.
It's definitely you either love it or you hate it. And for me, I love it. I love that I could have some predictability, but at other times I could just stroll around and relax and just do whatever I want and just say, oh, this is going on. I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
This is they're doing this tomorrow. Maybe I'll do this. You know what? I don't feel like doing it now. I don't have to. I'm not losing out by not doing something. Or I'm not necessarily having to put up extra to do something.
Yeah.
They do now through their app allow you ask you to schedule certain shows, like particularly like the water show. You want to get a reservation for that because there is a limited amount of space. You are with 7,000 other people, so that just to kind of so there's not necessarily a huge line, and then people get mad that they didn't weren't able to come in. You would put in a reservation, and you get there early enough, and then you have to find your seats and stuff like that. But to that point, if there are still seats available before the show starts, usually about 15 minutes or so before the show starts, and not all the seats are taken, they will let people just walk in and walk up and experience the show. Mm-hmm. I mean, same with the stage show, the ice show, the water show. You have all that option available to you as well. So, like for instance, we went to the ice show. There were certain sections of seats that were blocked off for the more loyalist people, the people that have cruised many times with the company. So they block off certain sections of seats for them. So if they show up, they get a more preferred seating area. But there are a couple people did that. We were saying right next to that section, we weren't in that group yet. 20 minutes before the show starts, those attendees walk away, and they open up those seats to anybody. So we got out and moved and got better seats. So there's stuff like that going on. There's just so much to do and experience. Like I said, there's face painting. There's shows besides the shows at night. There's like activities. There is a crazy nightlife to the show, to the ship. On the promenade, there's a 70s night where they had disco music going on. There was a Latin night where the DJs and stuff, the cruise activity staff is running these, I don't know, what we call them, parties?
I would call them parties, yeah, because we had a sail away party one night, an 80s party one night, I think it was a Jamaican themed night, and 70s and 80s, something like that. So every night you just go down there, and the promenade is not the place to be if you're trying to get across from one side of the ship to the other, because it's just a massive sea of humanity partying to whatever music, man. They set up the stage, and Ricky, the cruise director, man, that dude's up there jamming. It was, they put on good shows, man. Outside of the reservation shows, those shows are like little added perks that go along with it that are awesome.
Yeah, like the sail away night. There's the sail away party, which for us, since it was raining, they put inside of the promenade. I think yours was up on the deck because you got nice weather.
We had better weather. Oh, to that point, let me interject real quick. What was cool about that, which I wish you guys could have saw, that the Mardi Gras and another ship were at the dock with us. So we couldn't tell we were leaving, because we're up there partying, with the music and stuff like that. All of a sudden I hear like this celebration, like everybody screaming and yelling and cheering and whatever. I look over and I'm like, oh, we're moving. So I ran over to there. You could see everybody from the Mardi Gras and the other ship at the top deck cheering and waving at us as we were going. It was so cool. Like I got the chills just like watching that. I'm recording it with my camera. Because it was just cool, because like they're like, I guess they're getting ready to go, but we were the first ones out, and they were just like cheering and waving us on as we left. It was so cool.
Yeah. We unfortunately weren't able to experience that. The Disney Fantasy was in port when we were there. Mm-hmm. But I guess you go in order that you are docked. So the Wonder being the closest to the mouth of the estuary there. She was the first one to go out, and then so forth, and whoever's behind that. One of the MSC ships was there as well, and some others. I mean, there's always something going on, but as I was saying, the first night they have a party at midnight where they release thousands of balloons in the promenade. So we kept our kids up that night. We went down there for that. and yeah, the sea of balloons just dropping down on us. It was a lot of fun. The kids enjoyed it. My kids, they went to the 70 night. They enjoyed that, and they were up for the partying. And I'm not one who typically would do that. As a teen, I never was one at the nightclubs and stuff, doing that type of stuff. That is not me. But on the ship, it's fun. It's just, it's just this nice atmosphere that, again, you could participate to whatever extent you want. If you want to be in there enjoying it, you can be. Again, I saw some of those same teenagers that didn't know Britney Spears, at the 70 night, staying off to the side, trying to get into it, but not knowing the music. You had the cruise staff dressed as the village people on the stage performing and dancing away to the village people in Donna Summers and all these other songs. Oh, yeah. And, the kids like, this is fun music. I don't know it. Why are people dancing that way? Yeah, but people are doing the hustle and
what's cool is they have the camera guy down there recording, the parties. So the next day or later on the next day, if you tune into the TV and put on like the Royal Caribbean channel or whatever, where they're going over all the activities and stuff, they'll actually show that playback of the party. So if you made it, you're like looking for yourself on the TV to see if you made it onto the recording. So there's that aspect of it too, which is really cool because my wife and my daughter are of the shorter horizon, so they like to be up front. So we were basically the 80s party. We were up front on the whole time.
Yeah, I missed the 80s party. But to that point, if they will show certain like game shows or different activities that have happened during the cruise on that channel. So if there was something that you wanted to be a part of and you couldn't for some reason, either there was another activity that you're at, which happened to us a few times, or you just couldn't stay up that late or whatever reason, you weren't able to do it. They have the Quest scavenger hunt, which adult scavenger hunt, which is a lot of fun and craziness. There's a kitchen nightmare, I believe it is. That's also a lot of fun. They will put those on that channel as well, so you could always either enjoy it again or watch it for the first time and still be able to enjoy that, even if you weren't able to make it to the original.
Yeah. That the adult only Crazy Quest was probably one of my funnest and funnest, is that a word? I enjoyed that one probably the most out of a lot of the stuff that we did, only because it was just, there's obviously no kids were allowed, but Ricky was there and he divided the rink up in like 6 groups, and then he had captains from each group come down on the ice that represented our team numbers and whatever. And he was
it's a stage floor. Not, you mean where the ice is there, but they put a stage floor down, so
right,
you don't have to be.
Right, they put a stage floor on it. Right, yeah. So he's down there with all the group captains and stuff like that, and he would call out an item that the team captains had to go into the crowd and retrieve that and bring it to Ricky in order for us to score points and stuff like that. So, I mean, it was clothing, it was credit cards, it was money, you name it. He was asking for those. It was just a blast watching all this go down because I was so entertained and I my stomach was hurting from how hard I laughed in that show.
Yeah, I didn't do this. We've done it many times in the past, and it's always hysterical and funny just in watching these people. A guy wearing lipstick.
Yep.
Or one of my favorites is always the sock with a hole in it. Which, let me tell you now, people. I'm sorry, this is cheating, but I'm going to save you some money right now. Every sock has a hole in it because that's how you put your feet in it.
Put your foot in it.
But you'll see people like taking their socks off and trying to rip a hole in it and run it up.
That's funny. Yeah.
It's good stuff. Oh, another activity again, that they have. You can go ice skating. Yep. So there's open skates that you have to wear long pants, but you can go ice skating on the ship as well. So that's another activity besides the rock wall and the surfing and the zip line and all these other things. There's a lot of things that you can experience. There's a nice long walking track around the ship too, that has little pods off the side of it that have different activities. And one just a sitting lounging area. One's got the shuffleboard, another one and ping pong. There's different areas like that. There's a lot of like hidden little gem and fun areas on the ship. The walking, we did the walking track a couple times, and you also get some nice views because it goes all the way aft, the back end of the ship.
Yeah.
So you have the water theater, but right behind that is the walking track, and you just get to look over the stern of the ship, the back, and just look out. It's just so calm and relaxing. There's some deck chairs there actually that you can sit in and just relax and just enjoy looking over a view that has not changed in thousands and thousands and millions of years. That view is the most natural view and most original view of the Earth, of just looking out over the open water.
Yeah.
And just hearing the splashing and just hearing the water bite, but just looking out over the horizon.
Yeah.
And just seeing the ocean and just really nothing else. It is, to me, so spectacular and beautiful.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I like seeing how the trail that the ship leaves. You know what I mean? Of the wake of
the wake. Yep. Yeah.
I could sit there and my daughter was with me because our hidden spot was the ping pong table down there off the track. Because like if the one up by the basketball court was full, we would go down to that one to see if it was open. And most times it was, because not everybody knows that it's there.
Right.
So we would go down there and play, but we continued the walk and we got to the back and I'm sitting there chilling. My daughter's like, all right, Dad, let's go. I'm like, chill. Soak this
We're on
in.
vacation.
It's beautiful.
Relax. Just gonna bring up. In another very bizarre little hidden gem. I wouldn't call it a hidden gem, but attention to details and considerations that they put in. You know what I'm bringing up?
I think I know where you're going. Yeah.
There is a doggy bathroom.
Yeah.
So for the service dogs that are on the ship, so if someone needs a furry companion on the ship, there is a specific area of the ship that they can use for a bathroom. Now, obviously, they have baggies and stuff there for you to clean up afterwards and whatnot. But there, it's got the fire hydrant and some fake grass and whatnot. There's a nice, an area right there and a sink to wash your hands. For your for the dog to use. So they even take that into consideration, which I think is, I would have never thought to put that, but someone was smart enough to realize, let's put this on the ship.
Yeah. Yep.
The whole process is nice. The leaving out of Florida is nice. It's quick access to the law of the island, St. Thomas, St. Martin, their own private island, which was all great. I guess kind of wrap things up and bring it back to Disney. Port Canaveral, whatever ship you take out of there, is only an hour and 15, I think it was, or something like that.
We got there in an hour. The guy got us there in an hour. So yeah. Depending on traffic. We didn't hit any traffic. So I would say if you hit traffic, it's going to take you about an hour and 15. Yeah.
But an hour and 15 straight ride, just about from the port to Disney property. It's an easy drive, so you can do the Disney parks and a cruise, and it's not like you have to drive an excessive amount of time to get to the coast, get to the cruise ship. There's plenty of parking options around there to park a car. You can get a shuttle, you can Uber it, you can do a lot of different things to be able to get there. So it makes it convenient, and you could kind of tie the two together. So you could spend a few days at the park like Dave did and go on the cruise, or like we did, get off the ship. And we were taking the auto train back. The auto train, we didn't have to be there till noon. You get off the ship 8:00, drive to Disney World and have breakfast. I mean, why not? You're there, or just go walk around downtown, or if depending if you're taking a later flight, go to a park or something. You have that option. Yeah. And fortunately, with how Disney is centrally located, it makes it so easy to be able to just access Disney and do it for however long works in your plans.
Yeah. And to wrap up, like with Royal Caribbean too, if you do get the shuttle back to the airport, they do have a rule where, or it's not a rule, but it's like a thing that a suggestion, a very strong suggestion: do not book a flight before 1 o'clock. So now you might sit there and go, well, like I did. I was like, I have a 1:45 flight. I'm going to be sitting at the airport forever. But I'm glad I had all that time, because by the time you get off the ship, find where you need to go, get on the bus. By the time they leave and bring you to the airport, it was enough time. Like, we were only sitting in the airport for an hour. So it does. I'm glad they do that in a way so that you do have that time. So you're not feeling, oh my God, I'm going to miss my plane, So there is a reason why they have that rule in there, and I kind of like it. Like, at first I was skeptical, but experiencing it, I'm glad it's there.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Like I said, I took the auto train, so I didn't have to worry about that. And you can go back to episode 232 and listen to my thoughts on the auto train. So, anything else you wanted to bring up here?
I think we covered it. Do you want to touch on your experience at the end there, or no?
Well, I mean, you can listen to my dining review, but it was nice because we didn't tell the kids where we were going for breakfast. Mm-hmm. We just said we're just going for somewhere for breakfast, and my son's like, "Oh, Waffle House! We're going to the Waffle House." I'm like, "It's not the Waffle House," and he was bummed it wasn't the Waffle House. But as we pulled up to, we'd see the archway or "Welcome to Disney World." We're going to Disney World. That's where we are going to have breakfast at Disney World. And pulled up to the Animal Kingdom Lodge, and they got all excited. So it was nice. And then we had the breakfast, and we got to walk around the resort a little bit because it's the Animal Kingdom Lodge. There's the animals outside, so we checking out the animals and walked to the shop a little bit. Got some snacks there for the ride back, and just kind of relaxed and enjoyed the last few moments of our vacation before the trek north.
Yeah. And then back to reality.
The sad, cold fact of reality.
Yeah, this is true. So, but overall, I had a great time. A lot of moving parts. And thankfully, everything worked out well. And we got back safe. We got there safely. We got back safely. And that's all that matters, dude.
Thank Jackie and the wonderful people at MEI and Mouse Fan.
Oh, yeah. 100%. I've gotten to know Jackie very well over the last couple of years and stuff, and she's awesome.
Excellent. Yes, she's really good. We should have her on sometime.
Yeah, I think we should.
And on that note, Dave, thank you again as always.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for having me again.
And we'll be talking soon.
Yeah.
Thank you again, Dave, for joining us and discussing our trips to Wonder of the Seas and Disney World, Florida. Some of the ideas of vacationing, Florida vacationing. Let us know what you think. Join the conversation on our social media, where we can be found just about everywhere at WD Magiccast. Through the Spotify podcast website or app. Send it along, be heard on the show, be part of the show. Links to all these are in the show notes. I want to thank you for your time. I know how little time we have these days, and just life is getting crazy. I completely understand that. My life is just, really, I don't have much free time myself. But please, ask you, go on to Apple Podcasts or Stitcher Podcasts and leave us a rating and review about the show. We have all 5-star reviews at the moment, but keep them coming. We need more. The more reviews you leave, the more these podcast apps will promote our show. Or you can do it yourself. Send out a link on your favorite social network and let people know about the show. Send out a link, tag us, and this way we can thank you personally. The more people we have, the better we'll be. Walt believed in a big Disney family, and so do I. Don't forget to subscribe to the show while you're at it. This way you always know when a new episode episode is posted, or consider becoming a premium subscriber. Really help the show out. You can do this also over at the Spotify podcast website. Links to that are in the show notes as well. You can also check out our merchandise shop. Get yourself some really cool WD Magicast stuff. Again, links to all these show notes. Make it easy for you. Just remember, the show's brought to you by listeners like you. Whatever you're facing out there, whatever troubles you may have, remember, be thankful for the day that you were given. Every day is a gift. Just like you are something special. You are something wonderful. There's no one like you, and there's a very good reason for that. There's no one to be as special and wonderful as you, and you are touching people's lives. Never give up, never give in. Be your own hero and let your light shine for the world to see. And I'd like to end this week's show with a quote from Walt Disney himself. The era we are living in today is a dream come true. Again, that's from Walt Disney. Thank you again for listening, everyone, and I'll see you next time.